Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Magnet Dale.
And I'm not Jane Eyre's Magnet Dale.
And neither of us is Smudge.
Neither of us is Smudge. Smudge is here, though.
Yeah.
She's not particularly talkative. She's not going to introduce
I
herself.
know, she's been very talkative today.
Yeah, and then I turned up and she's gone all quiet.
Well, you're here now. She doesn't have to keep shouting, where's Mummy?
Where's she gone?
Where's best
where's
Mummy?
she not here? It's fine. I'm here now, despite the universe's best attempts to keep me away from recording.
Keep you off of a train.
Yes, I am here recording Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Yeah.
It's a podcast. We're wives. We're here. How are you doing?
I'm warm.
Yeah, you were deep in some Beat Saber, I'm guessing?
I was Deep Saber in some Beat Saber. Yes.
I don't know if you knew I was home or not, but you were talking to yourself quite charmingly while playing.
I often talk to myself while playing Beat Saber.
Being like, I do have to speed up. One more lap to go.
Gotta go faster. You're right, we do in fact have to go faster.
It was very sweet.
It's weirdly, I still don't know the name of the track, but it's been in my head all day long, and it's like, it's definitely something off of Beat Saber. I don't know what fucking track it is.
But you found it, and you danced it out.
I think I've played that track like 5 times tonight. I'll play it for you later, but it sounds like Outrun music.
It's got that vibe from the way you were like, the level music's getting faster, do another circuit.
It very much sounds like Outrun music or like some Scale Racer from like the 90s. And then the drops bass like fucking dubstep. So it's very hectic.
Well, other than that, what things have you been playing this
Not a lot.
Week?
I'm winding down for the end of the year.
Yeah.
I've not felt like sitting at my PC. I've not felt that anything that I would play on my PC would work particularly well on a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And, so...
You've just been end of year in between things.
Yeah, and I did what very often happens when I get sort of end of year-y and sort of nostalgic and whimsical and cozy. I started playing Ocarina of Time again.
Yes, it's a good game, that, and it's short enough to do a nostalgia playthrough of.
Yeah, I think I started like couple of days ago. Like I've had maybe 2 full sittings of it.
It was maybe Sunday when I was sitting down to play the end of Metroid.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, how's it been going?
I'm up to the Water Temple.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I swear the last time I played through this, I was like, I got to the Water Temple and I walked it in like minutes. I barely registered that the Water Temple had happened, and I sat there going, why do people whinge about the Water Temple? And this time I'm like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm doing.
Why people whinge about the Water Temple this
I still don't understand why people complain about it as much, but like,
yes,
I mean, it's the boots. I get it, it's the boots.
I do remember the last time you did have that moment of, it's easy, why does anyone complain about it?
This time I'm like, I'm a bit lost. I don't know what's happening.
The 3DS port letting you map the boots onto one of your C buttons so that you could just put them on and off without having to go into the menu definitely made the temple a lot more palatable.
I've never played that version, but there are rumblings that we might be getting an Ocarina remake of some sort or another next year for the 30th anniversary?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe, fingers crossed.
I would like to play those versions on a nice big screen.
Because frankly, the 25th anniversary was a bit shit, really. We got the Game & Watch.
It kind of just came and went a little bit.
We got the kind of shitty Game & Watch, and I was like, 20... Because was it 20 years that we had for Skyward Sword?
20 years for Skyward Sword, and we got like the gold Wiimote, and the 20th anniversary concerts happened, those symphony concerts.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there was a lot of nice stuff at the 20th.
Yeah, 25th, have a Game & Watch. Fuck off. We're still heavy in celebrating Mario stuff. Rumour has it though that next year should be
give us a year of all the Zeldas.
Well, I hope so. I hope we at least get like something good, because it does seem like Nintendo kind of want one every other year coming out.
Yeah.
Of some sort or another. Now I know we've already had Age of Imprisonment, but yeah, I'm enjoying playing through Ocarina again.
Well,
the biggest problem I have with it is the fucking camera.
Yeah.
And occasionally just going, oh, right, I've just walked into this room, I can see what I'm going to have to do, I'm about to line myself up for it, and Nabby's like, hey, do you see the thing that's directly in front of you that you've already internalised because you've played this before? Uh-huh. I fucked up your camera about it, bye! And then you go back to it, it's like, well, now I have to reorganise myself.
Fear not, we'll talk about other characters that tell you too many things you already know later in this, I'm sure, but...
They weren't thinking about the replayability of the game. I'm sure the first time I played it, I appreciated that shit.
Particularly given when, like, that kind of 3D adventure game was really not a common thing, and they had to establish the conventions.
And you had to wait for a magazine to do a walkthrough to tell you how to get through a thing.
But yeah, speaking of Zelda, we talked a couple of weeks ago about trying to do co-op in Age of Calamity, which is the new
and it wasn't there.
Hyrule Warriors. And yeah, I'll refresh on what our experience was the first time, which was it had a button for 2-player, and we start trying to do 2-player, and every 2 minutes it's kicking you out as the second player and being like, nope, this level's single player only.
Yeah, seemingly we were early enough in the game that it was saying that I could play, like, side mission stuff, but I couldn't play stories.
Yeah, even when there were, like, very demonstratively second characters you could be controlling.
Or third or fourth.
I'm like, no, stop it. Some of them, even 3 or 4, it wouldn't let you play.
Yep.
Don't know whether it got patched, or we just got further into the game, or there was a bug the first time, but we sat down and tried it again a second time. It let you, as second player, be in absolutely every single mission, except for
It tried to kick me out of one.
There was one
and then
mission.
you were like, it was like, do you want to go back to single player for this mission? And you were like, no.
It was like,
okay then.
Okay, you can 2-player it. I don't know what that mission's deal was, where it tried to kick us to single player.
I think the deal there was that it was supposed to be a single character goes into the level.
Yeah.
And the story is about that character.
And
but
I
almost
said no.
immediately you are introduced to a second character. In fact, before combat has started. And therefore, there is something for the other person to do.
Yeah.
The other thing that was really fucking baffling about this is after the failure of our first attempt, I went out and got the game for myself.
Yeah.
And have played more of it than you have.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get through end of the year, play stuff ready for game of the year.
Hence my feeling of like, hey, do you want to play some more? At this point, I don't really care that I'm going to get kicked out of stuff because I've played all the story stuff myself anyway. Yeah, it was just like, it's fine now, we don't care.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing about that was, like, we now own 2 copies of the game on 2 separate Switches, and it's still like, no, you have to do game share.
I'm assuming the logic is, it is easier to, like, do split screen and send a second view to someone else than it is to keep up to date the locations and defeat statuses of that many enemies across 2 instances of the game accurately. Because, the only way to do it is game share. So it's to have both running on one console and stream the video and inputs to the other console.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work well enough.
For the most part, it was absolutely fine. There were a couple of times later in the evening when, for some reason, it was just grinding to, like, either grinding to, like, a 1 frame a second, like, halt, or sometimes freezing entirely for like seconds at a time, and then doing all of the inputs I'd been attempting to mash in
it
at
caught
high
up
speed.
with itself and got back to speed.
Or it was just going into like horrible, super compressed, blocky bullshit.
Yeah. Maybe it's just the length of time we've been doing it.
Maybe there's a leak in there somewhere. Had a good time with that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing through more of it. It is simply, I played enough of that game at launch to go, I'm very much enjoying this.
Yeah.
And that it's the kind of
I know what this game is.
If I take a break from this and come back to it, I'm not going to like have forgotten what to do.
No.
And as such, I can pick it up, put it down in between stuff I've got to finish before Game of the Year awards happening. But yeah, it's a fun little game.
Yeah,
and I'm glad the co-op's co-oping now.
It sure is.
What about you? You played anything else this week?
Yeah, Warhammer for Warhammer 40k, but it's not 40k, it's just Warhammer. Vermintide 2. That has a new new free update map.
We played this in co-op before.
We have,
Yeah,
this is the one with all the rats, the Skaven.
Yes, you pick your specific character with their unique abilities, and hordes of enemies are happening.
Yeah, it's Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Medieval fantasy
Medieval,
times.
magical Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
It's got new stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever played the, was it Verminous Ruin campaign that they did, I want to say around like August time?
That sounds...
That was like 3-mission campaign.
Sounds familiar, but I couldn't say for certain if we've done it.
That was a free update, and then this last week before, they added yet another new map. I don't know if that is also going to be part of a 3-act campaign. I enjoyed it. It's some interesting ideas. Like, for a large chunk of it, you're on a boat and trying to stop other boats from, like, boarding you or attacking you. And occasionally, like, the boats will, like, lock onto you and you'll have to, like, board them and blow up their ship so you can get away. Some nice ideas.
Yeah.
Even if occasionally, like, if you get smacked really hard by one of the, like, boss characters, you can go careening across the map and just dangling off the side of the boat in a way that no one can actually get to you to save you. So you've just got to sit there dangling until you die. Which is awkward, but just a risk of the whole thing, I guess. But yeah, I played that with Lauren and Delta. Delta came and visited of Sonic the Hedgehog comic pixel art fame. What is it? Kitmyth. eonscomic.kitmyth.net, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's correct. You'll find it one way or another. It's a great little webcomic. Check it out. Yeah, Vermintide 2. There's more of it for free, which I appreciate. What about you? What else have you played?
I finished playing through Metroid Prime 4.
You did?
I really enjoy that game. I can see why it's being divisive in some regards.
It's chatty.
I mean, I don't think that's even its biggest... I was going to say problem, its biggest point of divisiveness. It's not as chatty as people probably fear. Putting the NPC they did first in the game, and as early as they did in the game, I don't think gave people a good impression on that front.
No.
I think, generally speaking, the NPC characters are not too over the top. They're used very sparingly. They are used in genuinely pretty emotionally compelling ways by the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think that largely they are a benefit to the game by being there. I do really enjoy this in the way that it's scratching my desire for a more linear Zelda game. I said this last week, and I really maintain this now that I'm done. The 5 major areas you go to, connected by the big desert, really feel like 5 linear Zelda dungeons connected by Hyrule Field. And all of these places, some of them are more linear than others. Some of them you'll only get a little way in, you'll get a thing, you'll leave, and you'll come back later. But for the most part, a lot of them, you get there for the first time, you do the dungeon, you get the item there, you use it to fight the boss, you leave, you've gotten the big MacGuffin, you move on to the next one. You can go back, and there's a lot of hidden collectibles to find if you start going back with new items to old dungeons, and finding sprawling routes that connect off, and you'll see the hooks for those the first time you visit, and be like, oh, if I come back when I have blank, I'll be able to do more stuff. There's a lot of good tools as you get further in to highlight what collectibles you haven't yet found in an area, and roughly where they are, so that you can, try and get yourself on the right track to find those sort of Metroid-style, off-the-beaten-tracks hidden paths. Mm-hmm. It is, in some ways, more linear than something like Metroid Prime 1. And I enjoyed that as someone who has missed this kind of dungeon design in Zelda and was like, cool, give me a Metroid that feels a bit old Zelda. That works for me. I think the ending of the game is, I feel similarly to how I felt finishing Lost Records Bloom and Rage at the start of this year, which is, it's not that it's a bad ending by any means, but it took a thing that really could have felt like it stood on its own as its own standalone story, and at the last minute turned it into a, hey, this is probably part 1 of a trilogy. I'm excited. I like the idea of us getting 2 more, Metroid Prime games in this lineage, but it sure does... I think it sacrifices some of the satisfaction of its own ending to open the... Things that could have been like a post-credits tease if you got 100% on your file are instead the regular ending.
Regular ending, yeah.
It's less a teaser and it's more, the story ends on this note. And I think that's in some ways going to be one of the more divisive things about it. But yeah, I had a fantastic time. I spent 18 hours playing through on a not quite 100% first playthrough, but decently close.
Nice.
I'd started playing it before walkthroughs are out, and as such, I missed a couple of easily missable scans, which is, that's a Metroid for you. But I had a real good time with it, and I know I haven't 100% collected all the collectibles. I'm gonna hop back in at some point and clean up the last of my collectibles and my save.
Does it have a new game plus?
It does have a new game plus. It has a hard mode that you unlock after beating it once through. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Lovely.
I
feel like the biggest problem with that ending and carrot dangling for 2 more sequels is people are going to go, how fucking long did it take us to get this one?
Yes. It reminded me, I was having a conversation the other day about Beyond Good and Evil 2's troubled development.
Yeah.
And someone asked me, why do you care? Surely didn't that game have like a good ending where like it can be its own standalone thing? And why are you asking for sequels to everything? I'm like, no. The problem is, the first game had a really good, satisfying ending, and then halfway through the credits went, hey, that character you love is maybe infected by aliens. Fucking what? And teased a sequel it never delivered on.
Yes.
It's the thing that makes me go, I am annoyed at your lack of a sequel, is when you fucking sequel bait. You don't give me closure. You're like, oh, I gotta tease a thing, though.
Yeah, not only that, but like, we've already been told that Beyond Good and Evil 2 isn't the sequel.
No.
It's a prequel.
Yeah, no, that's its whole own other thing. But,
and from what I hear, it's going to be like an AI slopfest.
It sure sounds like it.
Because they couldn't get, 10,000 people to submit free work for it, which seems to be the implication when they got...
that sure seemed to be what they were trying to do. Hit film, hit record, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company. Yes. So yeah. What about you? You played anything else?
I got a new object, a new prop for fiddling with. I got 8 rings.
A new practical fiddly thing.
A new object to manipulate.
You have 2 white figure 8s that can twirl in your fingers and make shapes.
They share a lot of mechanics with the Boogang that I got in summer.
That's the big stick. Big
twirly
stick.
The big S-shaped stick, yes. And I love my Boogang. They're beautiful. But they're really heavy. Because it's all laminated wood. And it's like, to learn to practice with these things, you're going to be spending a lot of time with your arms held, like, right out in front of you, and manipulating these quite heavy objects with basically just the tips of your fingers.
A lot of your training time initially is going to be just building up finger strength and not
Yes.
even getting the technique down of the twirl properly.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, different schools of it where people talk about, like, well, yeah, you don't do all the finger manipulation stuff, you do this other thing. And it's like, yeah, okay, but you still have mentioned that I need to get good at, like, the spinny stuff as well on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's none of that. Don't lie to me. At least with the 8 rings, they are considerably lighter.
Yeah.
They're more compact, but because they don't fold down like the Boogang, they're probably going to be a bit of a pain in the arse to take anywhere. That said, I guess I can just hook them onto a belt.
Yeah, just pop a carabiner and hook them on.
Yeah, they're lightweight. They're nice to work with. There's not a lot to it. It's just a case of, like, just getting the muscle memory for, I am spinning this in a circle with the tips of my fingers while moving my hand in a circle shape the same size as one of the circles to make it look like the bottom circle isn't moving, but the top circle is going around.
And they seem, because of their weight and the way they're built, they seem like a very indoor-friendly, practicable, twirly thing.
They're small enough that you can just, like, sit at a desk or sit on a sofa and futz around with them.
You're not going to have the worry in your head of if I accidentally twirl this and it goes flying, it's going to smash the TV or something. It's like...
No, I worry about that with modern televisions anyway.
Yeah, I could drop this and not hurt my foot if it lands on it or something.
Yeah, or worry that I'm going to break it. Yeah, like, I feel like you could just, like, sit on a sofa and do this if you wanted to. Equally, you could, like, stand and do stuff with that. I feel like it has a lot of potential to get, like, quite fascinating and as complicated as you want to make it. just as you get a feel for those circles within circles.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's loads of different variation shapes based on that. Like, what if there was a triangle attached to the circle?
Ooh.
What if there was a square attached to the circle? What if there was a bigger circle attached to the smaller circle?
Ooh.
There's loads of different props in that family. And, but yeah, I'm very happy learning 8-ring, and I hope that some of the skills that I will get from practicing that will get me better at my booging, and I can finally get those out.
Yeah.
I love them. But yeah, finally, Oddballs got them back in stock just in time for a Black Friday sale. And since Oddballs is like a well-established, relatively local business, I don't feel too bad getting in the Black Friday sales for that. But yeah, what about you? Have you played anything else?
I've been playing some Binding of Isaac.
You have?
I've been looking.
It's been a while.
I've been looking for something to play in between other things at the end of the year. I'm like, I don't want to jump into anything huge right at this second. Pokemon DLC's right on the horizon, and I want to be ready for that. Yeah, I've just been doing some Binding of Isaac runs. I've not won a single run since coming back to it.
Wow.
But I've had
been doing
fun.
greed mode, though?
I've been doing hard mode and greedier mode.
Oh, okay.
So I've been doing the hard mode of the regular runs and the hard mode of greed. And I've gotten close to beating those runs a couple of times. I've clearly just, lost my muscle memory a little bit, and that's fine. It always takes a minute to get back into doing hard endgame roguelike content, but I've been having fun.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. You play anything else?
One other thing I want to talk about, Wyrmspan, the game of collecting dragons and raising dragons, has an expansion called Dragon Academy. It's a relatively small expansion. It's a bunch of new dragons, a new dragon type, a new dragon mechanic, 4 or 5 new dragon guild boards, and a new round board. So, we've talked about this before. Basically, it's sort of a spiritual successor to Wyrmspan, a game, an engine-building game about birds. You're putting birds into different environments, and those birds will lay eggs, and basically as you run your engine from right to left, you get different stuff. But in this, you run your engine from left to right. There's a whole extra mechanic of, before you can entice a dragon into a cave, you have to have excavated a cave for it.
Yes.
And there's... dragons will sort of only go into certain environments, so it has to be in a particular cave system. And then basically you're getting points for resources you've cached on dragons, cards you've tucked under dragons, the dragons themselves, eggs laid on dragons. There's loads of different ways of scoring points, and basically the whole point of the game is, can you engineer it in such a way that you can get the most possible points out of running your engine relatively few times. Dragon Academy adds a really interesting idea of, instead of when you restart for the new round, you just get 6 coins and an egg, and that's it. Now it's, as you retire as you pass for the round, you place your explorer in one of 6 different locations, and there's 2 different sets. So there's for rounds 1 and 2, you go on one side, and for the third round, you go onto another side. And
these spaces are exclusive, so whoever finishes the round first gets first pick of where they want to be.
Yep, and that could be start with 6 coins, or 5 coins and an egg, or 5 coins and move around the Dragon Guild track.
Yeah.
There's a lot of strategy. In 2-player, I don't feel like you maybe step on each other's toes as much as potentially you would do in larger player counts. But I think it is... I don't think whatever else I do, if I took out the fledglings and the new mechanic cards and just played with base game stuff, I think I would still play with that version of the between round tracker, because I just think it adds a little bit more strategy. Feels like it tightens the game up a little bit as well.
Agreed, yeah.
It feels like yeah, I wouldn't play it any other way than that version. The fledglings are interesting because rather than the hatchlings, which you're very often like, every time you explore past them, you're feeding them one thing.
Yeah.
And then when you feed them the third thing, there is some bonus.
Yeah.
And the things you're feeding them will stay on them, so technically those are cached resources, which are points at the end of the game.
Yeah.
There might be, like, something else you're getting, because it's very often, like, cache a milk on this, and draw a card, or draw a cave, or cache a card.
Yes.
So you're getting, like, double victory points for that, or things that will push your engine forward.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the fledglings, rather than giving you, you're caching a specific thing on them, you're training them, and they go from, like, hey, this time you've come past me, I want a dragon card. And you, rather than, like, caching that card or tucking that card, you're putting it in the discard pile, but, like, marking the card saying, I have done the first of training on this.
Yeah, so you're not getting free points for caching stuff on it, you are investing for no immediate reward to try and get a payoff later.
Yes, and some of them are really interesting, because some of them are, like, at the end of the game, everything of this type will score again, or this something will score extra. And I feel like those ones are really, really useful. I managed to get, like, 2 fledglings in the entire game, and the second one was absolutely bloody useless by the time I got it. And that was, if you train it, and then explore past it, it will give you something really good.
Yeah.
But the point was, I got it so late in the game that I couldn't hollow out a cave for it, entice it, and then run past it 3 or 4 times in order to get the value out of it.
Yes.
Like, I guess I'm not going to get the thing with that. So some of them are a bit circumstantial, but the other thing that's really interesting about fledglings is they are each worth as much as the number of fledglings you have on your board.
Yeah.
And you managed to absolutely, like, sweep the table of that.
The thing that really helped me is one of my fletchlings, their whole thing was, if you completely train them, each of them is worth 3 extra points. So I think I had 5, so each of the 5 is worth 5 points each.
Yeah.
Plus, they were worth 3 points extra each, so they were worth 8. Yeah, I had 5 of them, which once trained up meant I was getting 8 points for each of them, which it's rare to see a dragon card worth 8 points.
Yeah.
Like, that was... Because the thing is, they're only really worthwhile if you can get them early in the game and if you can get multiples of them. And I was lucky that I was able to they were coming up at the right time for me to grab them.
Yeah.
In a 4-player game, I think it would be harder to consolidate power in them.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I think there would be a higher chance of someone else at the table grabbing them before, like... I think I would have had less chance to do that in 4-player.
Yeah,
and
still a risk of, like, just lucking into them.
Yeah, like, I had to commit to them early and go, I hope that I roll into them, because otherwise I've invested resources in a thing that won't pay off. There's a gamble to it, but they have the potential to be big point scorers if you can make them work.
Yeah. I thought it was a really interesting expansion. I'm very happy with it. Yeah. I do have to look at my custom insert that I built for it, because it doesn't quite work anymore. And weirdly, it comes... Like, the original Wyrmspan came with no insert. It was all just plastic bags.
Yes.
And a box that was way too big for it. But for some reason, this expansion came with a plastic insert, like a tray, that isn't big enough for all of the things that it's supposed to have in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Like, it has, like, space for dragon-sized cards and cave-sized cards. But if you go, okay, well, just the ones that are in the expansion, it's... like, more than half empty. And then, if you try and go, well, I'll put everything in there, and it's like, no, the lid won't shut because there's too many dragon cards and too many cave cards. It's like, what the fuck is this for?
I am genuinely very baffled as to what use case they thought they were.
I have no idea. They've just given me rubbish that I guess I have to use temporarily to take the extra cards. It was specifically for me. They knew I'd built a custom insert that wouldn't fit all of the new cards, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Plus, if I do take any bits out of my custom insert thing, I will keep them in my box of insert parts. And if I ever need to design another one, I've got a whole bunch of pre-designed bits.
Ooh.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Wyrmspan Dragon Academy.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you played anything else?
That's it for me, really.
Well then.
Time for this.
Oh, this is fancy. It's been decades since I've seen like a very genuine baked potato restaurant.
Oh yeah, like a proper jacket place.
Yeah. Cool. I think I'll get the baked potato because healthy.
Well, yeah, because it's healthy.
And we'll get some sweet corn on that.
Well, yeah, of course.
Healthy.
Healthy.
Vegetable. Beans, bit of fibre, healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have some sauce, for
Yeah.
potato.
Yeah,
Healthy.
I mean, you gotta have cheese, right, on a baked potato.
I mean, you gotta have cheese.
You gotta have cheese on a baked potato.
on a baked potato.
Yeah, just a little bit of cheese.
Well, yeah, just to
Some
hold it
hot
all
sauce.
together, yeah.
Hot sauce. Chili, of course.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you've got to have chili.
You gotta have chili.
On a baked potato.
Yeah, you gotta have-
chili cheese,
yeah.
it's all in there, right? Okay, well, yeah, and then I think probably I'll probably have some of those triple crook fries on there as well, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, your potato's gotta have a friend.
I mean, we know the joy of a potato with some other form of potato somehow inserted in the potato.
Yeah.
We love this stuff. So I'm thinking, on top of that, probably more cheese.
Probably a bit of mayo because that's eggs, which is protein.
Right, you gotta have
Gotta have the protein.
right, and then just like a lot of ketchup. I feel like you're a big fan of ketchup,
Well,
right?
yeah, but that's like vegetable sauce.
Yeah, right, and then
it's healthy, right?
Obviously put some cheese on it, right?
Well, yeah.
Maybe a different kind of cheese. Maybe we'll get like a nice cheese pull as like I'm lifting out.
Yeah.
Now I realise this potato is getting very tall. I think I'm gonna have some of the coleslaw.
Well, yeah.
That's more vegetables, right? It's just more vegetables.
You gotta.
It couldn't possibly be wrong. Some jalapenos again. More vegetables.
They're a jalapeno jacket potato.
Yeah, get a little bit of the vinegar that they're pickled in because some it just adds a lot of nice flavour and like the tanginess. I quite like the tanginess. And then probably some cheese, right?
Yeah, you gotta
It wouldn't be a
have
baked
some
potato
cheese.
without just a bunch of cheese,
Yeah.
right? And bacon bits. Gotta have some. Gotta have some like crispy bacon bits in there, just a little bit of the crunch in there as well. And then top it off with some cheese, right?
I do love me a good healthy baked potato.
It's just the healthiest snack. Hey Laura,
Yes?
we've got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, do you experience winter?
I do experience winter, much to my chagrin.
Is that winter real cold?
Real cold, real wet, real grim.
Bad for your barometric knees.
Oh, me barometric increasing numbers of joints. Oh,
Would you like a little bit of sun?
just a little bit. Oh god,
Just like
yeah.
one day of like full-on summer.
Just like one sunny day would really top my mood up.
One like 23-degree day.
Oh, wouldn't it just? Oh, it'd be delightful.
Well, this week's sponsor is winterswap.lol.net.
Ooh, tell me more.
Get one day of summer of your choice in the winter, but you will in exchange have one unpredictable day of winter inserted into your summer to balance it out. The law of equivalent exchange.
Sounds okay. I'm sure that I won't live to regret that bargain down the line. What's the worst day that it could be wintry in the summer? How bad could that be?
While you're at a festival?
Yeah, I've experienced that. It's not fun.
No,
No,
it wasn't.
No.
It was really wet.
It sure was unpleasant having a day of winter slap bang in the middle of summer that one time.
I mean, to be fair, we had several days of pissing rain.
Yeah, we did. We really
We tried
did.
to cope with dancing around in yeah, we did our best, and then I tripped over a post.
Oh god.
Anyway, it's winterswap.lol.net.
I'm looking at the little asterisk here.
Yeah?
Apparently, they've been trialing the program to select UK users over the last century.
I'll bet that's what happened then.
That would explain some of the fucking weather we get in summer, huh? In
Definitely
quote
not climate
unquote
change.
summer. Oh, God, stop mashing the winter swap button, everyone.
So it's winterswap.lol.net. Enter the code. Brr. Ooh. And you too can get 15% off your first swap of winter. So, what have you put in your eyes or ears?
I watched the first episode of a thing because I keep being shown it by TikTok, and TikTok is convinced it's going to be like my new favourite thing. So I was like, I'm going to watch one episode of it and go, let's see if they're right. Is this gonna appeal to me and Jane? I watched the first episode of Pluribus.
I'm curious about this.
Yeah, I can't watch any further. We need to watch this together.
Oh, okay.
I watched one episode and went, this is 1,000,000% going to be scratching some Severance vibes for us.
I thought it might when I saw that Crazy Stupid Podcast were doing a response to it.
A lot of the black and queer nerd creators whose opinions I trust, who were very into Severance, are doing similar episode-by-episode breakdowns and, like, very interesting cultural analysis. I'm like, okay. So this is another Apple TV Plus sort of...
They're doing alright.
Yeah, they're doing some good stuff.
I'm not paying for it, but...
No, exactly. So the concept of Pluribus is humanity gets a signal from space, and it's very clearly like intentional and repeating, and trying to decode what this signal is. I won't go into the specifics. The short version, this is a end of the world story. That doesn't feel quite right. I was going to say like an apocalypse. That doesn't feel quite right.
The only thing I've been told about it is something about a hive mind.
Yeah, so it is kind of an end of the world story where a hive mind takes over the entirety of Earth.
Okay.
Except for 12 people.
Aha!
We follow one person who is immune to the hive mind called Carol. She is a book author who is writing a series of like sexy romance books for middle-aged women, and she feels that the stuff she is writing is utter trash, but they keep eating it up. She is not enjoying the process. I think she's gay. I have thoughts about where they might be going. But she is immune to this sudden hive-minding that happens to the planet. This is not a slow, sudden thing. Very suddenly, everyone is a hive mind, and they're all very aware that Carol is not in the hive mind. So you have people speaking in unison going like, hello, Carol. Just all speaking in unison. Let us help you. No, thank you. I'm freaked the fuck out.
Yes.
It is one of the most intensely unsettling end of the world experiences I've ever seen put to film. Because there's one moment that I don't think is too spoilery that I think like really sets the tone of like I didn't know how to feel watching it, which is everyone is like frozen and something's going wrong and Carol's panicking, she's trying to run away from whatever is happening.
How do I soft reboot the human race?
Yeah, she's driving, she's trying to get away, and like everyone's spoken in unison a little bit, so she knows something weird is happening.
Right.
And in the background you're seeing like what would be the zombie apocalypse style buildings on fire, planes are falling out the sky and whatever.
They're not doing very well as a hive mind.
But whatever, they've only just become a hive mind moments previously. And she's running away, like, in terror, and you're watching in the background going, oh, were all those terrifying, scary, speaking in unison people working together to put out fires and, like, rebuild the buildings as she's driving past? It's gone from everything was normal to everyone is seizing, to everyone's a hive mind, to, oh, don't worry, they're repairing the damage. They're very sorry that things got damaged and all that. So quickly, I can see why it would be fucking terrifying not being able to put a finger on what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
They're acting too nicely for the end of the world that's occurring. And it does seem like this hive mind is maybe scarier for the fact that it seems to genuinely want to create a decent and fine society.
A utopia.
Yeah, it's a utopia, but suddenly everyone who I knew is not themselves anymore. They're us now. It's one of the stronger pilot episodes of a show I've seen in a long time.
See, when you said you didn't want to watch any more of this, I assumed that it was bad.
No.
I
meant I don't want to. I'm not going to watch any more by myself because we need to watch this together.
I thought we might.
Yeah. I see why everyone is comparing this to Severance. It's got a few moments that really remind me of watching Severance and having that sequence of Helena trying to run out the door and running back in. Those just the sheer confusion of how do I process my new reality is captured really well.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to watch this. It seems really good. What about you? What have you put in your eyes or ears this week?
Not a lot, honestly. My regular YouTube viewing, so I've been watching like Geekenders podcasts, as is often the case, because it's something to put on when I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Housework. It's good for housework.
Yeah.
And it's familiar, because I realise I've been listening to variants of that podcast for over a decade now, possibly more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know you without an earlier version of that podcast.
It's a small world, huh?
I can't remember if it was co-optional or Geekenders, co-optional or the Game Station podcast.
It's co-optional that I was on,
with you and Duger and the army of geese.
Yeah. Who raises a goose? Who raises a goose?
You too.
Yeah.
And now Dodger has a farm. I feel like you have to go
Dodger
on
does
podcast.
Now indeed own a goose.
You have to go on the podcast and talk about your continued efforts to raise this army of geese. Yeah, but apart from that, I've just been like skimming through episodes of the Magnus Archives. So I listened to like the first 2 or 3 like season finale bits, and now I'm sort of skimming. I'm getting a bit slower through season 4 because obviously it's the one I've listened to multiple times the least. It's weird how randomly picking episodes based on titles, not necessarily remembering what they're about, has oddly made things more easy to focus on when stories connect.
Okay.
Because completely out of the blue, I got Manuela Dominguez on the Daedalus station.
Yeah.
Then the finding her at at Nialasund with the Dark Star, and like we assumed you just stopped our ritual, but it turned out our ritual just fucking failed, and Gertrude Robinson is already dead. Well, fuck, I don't know then. Like a lot of that stuff, by virtue of the fact that I just went from one episode to the other episode almost immediately, made it way easier to sort of follow threads between those.
Yeah, I can see that.
Following through like the dark episodes from that season have been quite interesting. Obviously, talking about a lot of the like this flame story happens around then as well. So we've had the death of Agnes Montague, the birth of Agnes Montague, the like various leaders from the Church of the Lightless Flame talking about like stuff around like raising Agnes as a child, and how do you worship a living god who's also like a teenager briefly, and we had to deal with the fact that our teenage god can just get angry and set everything on fire. But not necessarily in the ritualistic way we need it to happen to end the world. It's been interesting sort of catching those stories like a little bit closer together by just randomly picking episodes. Who knows, I may go back through it later and like pick entirely different random episodes and see if by picking a different fear vibes based on the title that I'll end up finding something different. I will probably end up listening to season 5 in its entirety, because obviously that was the one I listened to live, and I think I've listened to it once since.
Yeah,
again, it's December. It's sort of cozy.
Yeah.
The things you always do. A bit of the familiar. To keep the dark out.
I did something similar with the winter is enclosing.
Yeah.
I'm going to something cozy.
Yeah.
I rewatched the first time in a few years an animated film set in the Christmas period called Tokyo Godfathers, which is a fascinating film that I was hesitant to rewatch because I wasn't sure how it was going to hold up, and I think it holds up really well. It is a film about 3 homeless people, one of whom is a trans woman, who discover an abandoned baby and end up going on a quest to try and help this baby get home to whatever parents.
Yeah.
It is a really interesting anime in terms of... It's a really interesting story of the lengths that people will go to at a time when everyone is very family-oriented and very cozying in with their own people, and the lengths that people will go to at that time who maybe don't have anyone to be with. When everyone is time to go back home and see family, that sort of thing. It is a really sweet journey of connection for a group of people who, for various reasons, don't necessarily have places to go back to, and the journeys for at least a couple of the characters, it's what led to you being where you are, and is there any way that things can be fixed and improved? The trans woman character is the reason I was nervous to rewatch, because anytime I haven't watched a thing with a trans character in a while, I'm like,
well, how was this handled?
Yeah, how is this handled? Really, really sweetly. A lot of the character arc for her is around the fact that she's for a long time, like, how do I put this? She is certainly not presented as someone who couldn't find love or couldn't settle down and have a family. She had a loving husband for many years who passed away, unfortunately, and she just wants to be a mother. And having this baby sort of fall into her arms, as it were, suddenly baby, feels like, oh, this is my prayers being answered, and then has to go through this arc of, no, this is not my child. I have to, do the journey to get this child back to their parents. It's a really sweet journey she has, and I am impressed at how well it holds up, given, God, when did Tokyo Godfathers release? I can never remember how old or not it is. 2003, so it's over 20 years old.
Oh.
It holds up really well. It's very sweet. I had a good time. It was a very cozy rewatch.
Yeah.
What about you? You put anything else in your eyes or ears?
No, that's it, really.
Same for me, really. It's been YouTube watching and trying to finish up my end of year work.
Yes.
Big
work.
Trying to wrap up all of the year is over. Here is the bits of content that are because the year is ending.
Well, we got your big AA out.
Yeah.
It took a while, and that went out last week.
Yeah, I'm just about
Go check that out.
I'm just about on track to have a couple of weeks off at the end of the year.
Hell yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Well then.
Time for this.
Inside the boardroom of Supremacy Software.
Hi. So, I've been trying to find a way we can do AI without getting in trouble with everyone.
Right.
Because everyone gets real mad when we put AI in the game.
Yeah.
They keep complaining when we put AI in the game.
Yeah, but it's saving us a lot of money most of the time.
Yeah,
I have invested a lot of money into AI, so I think we have to keep using it for that reason.
Yeah, even if it's costing us more than it's saving us, in the long run it might save us more than it costs us, so...
Yeah, and we did try that whole tack of just saying, oh, we don't insist on our people using it, and that didn't go down terribly well.
I've got a new tactic.
Right.
I think we don't pretend we're not using it. I think we lean into it. Here's my pitch.
Uh-huh.
We're putting AI art in our game as a Christmas gift to our workers.
Right.
We're letting them have an early winter break by getting their work done for them by AI.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have to tell them the next bit, which is that winter break is permanent. We're not going to hire them back. Yeah. We're firing them just before Christmas and replacing them with AI.
Yeah.
But, we can make it sound like a treat that we're doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, well, we had to use AI. How else would we give them a multi-week break?
Right. We need to give them a rest. They've put in a lot of work leading up to the launch of the new game.
Yeah, and it would be unethical to make them work over the winter.
Right.
The only ethical thing to do is to
replace them with AI.
Let them go early before Christmas.
To a farm.
to a farm. They're all going to go work on a farm with Michelle on cell.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what's happening. It's a nice treat for them.
You are a festive genius.
I know.
The year is 2092. The world has healed from war, climate struggles, and the ravages of the AI bubble collapse. Humanity has healed. Every person is fed, housed, and lives comfortably in harmony with nature. Thanks to modern computing technology, we can do more, learn more, and play games indistinguishable from reality. It's time to relive a legend. Skyrim Ultra Deluxe Legendary Edition is available now for your brain pads. Skyrim. Play it again. Please keep buying it. Buy the 19th iteration of Skyrim. It's available again, just in case you didn't have it on something. Please, buy Skyrim again. Also, we said Elder Scrolls 6 is coming, and it'll come, right? It'll come. We're working on it.
Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Racial Justice Warriors.
Racial Justice Warriors?
Yeah.
All right, Larry. All right, Barry. How you doing?
It's surprisingly warm, mate.
Yeah. I'm not as chilly as I expected to be tonight.
No. I mean, I feel like we had a really cold week or so, and I was like, I'm not ready for this. And then we've had a couple of shitty wet weeks.
Yeah, but
and then it's been a little bit drier.
Yeah, it's been all right.
Yeah, it's been pretty fucking wild. We had that really heavy snow day.
Oh god, yeah.
None of it settled, and then it was sleeting and raining, and it's been a wild time, mate.
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Oh, I've been doing all right. Funny you mentioned the weather. I was having a chat with a homeless person earlier.
Oh god, I wouldn't want to be having this.
No. I stopped and gave someone money, and as I occasionally do when I'm not in a rush, I stayed and had a little chat with them. And
I mean, having been a homeless myself, I know one of the most demoralising things is the fact that people won't look at you or acknowledge you.
Exactly,
even when they're giving you money.
Put money in the hat, but don't make eye contact and whatnot. But I was having a chat about the. It's interesting. It was a complicated chat to have, but talking about the fact that he was saying he doesn't blame people who have been a little more hesitant to give to homeless people recently, because he has noticed that there has been changes in the way that certain homeless people have been behaving, and I'm not going to pretend I haven't seen some of this going on, which is
you've been attacked a couple of times.
I've had a couple of times where things have been rough. I had one where, to be clear, this does not put me off giving money to homeless people, but I had one where someone asked for money, I gave them some money, and they insisted that it was not enough and that I needed to go to a cash point with them to go withdraw more money. I had one where I went to someone asked me to buy them some food, and I was like, yeah, I've not got cash on me, I'll go to Burger King or something with you and buy you something. And then he started trying to steer me to a cash point. And I understand where it comes from, because I was talking to this homeless guy today, and the way he put it was ever since COVID happened, people just do not carry cash on them the same way they used to.
No.
And it has been what degree of casual sympathy for the homeless communities that used to go, I'll empty my pockets a bit.
Yeah.
That was vital for surviving, particularly in winter.
Yeah.
Just is not there, because the overlap doesn't seem to be happening between has money and feels bad in the winter.
Yeah.
People when they have money, they're not being around the homeless people. When they're seeing homeless people in winter, they don't have money on them. And people are getting a little desperate, and I genuinely cannot blame them.
No, definitely.
When you are out on the street in these kind of conditions, and that little bit of community care and support that used to exist is starting to dry up.
Yeah, and I also think I genuinely feel like a lot of the people who might previously have given to a homeless person they passed are instead going, well, I give to the local food bank.
Yeah.
I'm so it's not like I'm being ungenerous, but the people who are using the food bank probably aren't the same people who are homeless, because as far as I understand, I think you need to have an address to...
It depends. Some of them yes, some of them no. And the problem is that a lot of food banks are geared toward, non-perishables, but they're also...
Things you have to cook. Things you have to cook
is a big part of it. But also, half the time it's not even access to food that's necessarily the problem. Yeah. It's the ability to... it's a particularly cold night and I can just feel something in my bones that, like, I'm not going to do well tonight. Yeah. To be able to just be somewhere warm for a night to, like, not have things get worse.
Yeah, and also, like, the volume of people being made homeless by virtue of, like, just the state of the economy, the state of employment, and, we've started seeing adverts randomly at the cinema talking about, like, the unemployed population of, like, school leavers and college graduates is the equivalent of the second or third largest city in the UK, like 90,000 young people just unable to get employment.
Yeah, and it's
probably only going to get worse as more companies are like, oh yeah, I'll sack everyone off for AI.
Yeah, and again, it's, as I say, I'm very careful not to let that kind of behaviour put me off of giving money to homeless people when they ask, because I'm like, look, for any times that people might be like, oh, you never know what they're going to spend it on or whatever,
I don't care.
Right, I'm like, if you've come up to me and asked me for money, you are in a... To be in a position where you have come to do that, you are in a position where you probably need it more than I do.
Yeah.
Secondly, who gives a shit if they spend it on drugs? I have the luxury of living in a house and I might occasionally do a drug.
Yeah.
If I was living out on the fucking street, then yeah, I would probably enjoy something to fucking numb that a bit, you know?
Yeah, I've been homeless. I wouldn't, put it past going, it would have been quite nice to have some drugs.
Right.
To just soothe maybe a couple of my evenings, to take a break from the way my life is at the moment. Just to, have a night off from reality.
Yeah.
I don't think that's literally the worst thing that you could be doing. So, no judgment there. I'll be honest, like, the last few times I've gone to a cash point, it's been specifically so I will have money in my pocket if someone asks me for money. Because I realised I hadn't used cash for a really long time. The long, a period of about a year, the only reason I had money in my pocket at all is because I'd gone to a festival where I didn't think there was going to be any like use of card. They were talking about, like, there was probably no signal there. So, like, I'd taken a whole bunch of cash out, and then when we got there was very little to buy, and the few things that they did buy, they took card, and only card. So I ended up with more cash than I would usually carry around on me, and I was just slowly divvying it out to random homeless people over the course of...
Yeah. Similarly, I've taken to... If I'm going to get a tattoo and I'm paying in cash, or you go into a festival, so, something that's like a music venue where I don't know what their card access is like, I will
just because it's better to give bands cash.
Well, yeah, exactly. I will just get a little more cash out than I need to. I get 20, 30 quid out extra just to have them in my pocket so that, hey, if I see a homeless person around, I've got some money if I need it. And, like, I do not blame people for some of the things they're being pushed to at the moment, and I wish it were not the case for them. But also, I think it reinforces this very point that, like, hey, if you have gotten out of the habit of having cash on you, and you are the kind of person who would donate to homeless people, maybe go out of your way to put some cash in your pockets or whatever, so that you can do those acts of support and kindness that you would have done, a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, mate.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
Good luck, mate. Good luck. Right, I can go and have a little lie down.
Sounds lovely.
Nice. So, Laura.
Yes?
Where can people find all of the things you do?
Laura Cables, you can find all the things I do You can check out the big end-of-year accessibility episode. It's like 45 minutes talking about everything that happened in video game accessibility this year. It's a big old one. Go check that out. Dice Funk. You can listen to me being a middle sibling dragon making questionable life choices.
And collecting blue women.
It's becoming a problem, the number of blue women I'm collecting. It is unmanageable. It will hit a crisis point before long, I am sure. The final episode of Control Alt Access for the year, where me and Arevia talk about some of our Game of the Year thoughts. That's a fun old chat. Just Laura Kinners, you'll find all the stuff, what I'm up to.
Yeah.
What about you?
Patreon.com/StonedMonkeyRadio, as little as $1 a month. You can help me keep doing all the things I do and keep me warm through these cold winter months while I take some time off.
Yeah.
Soon. Then there'll probably be another Quips next week, but then some time off.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can also find me on Humans Holler at News, a podcast for me's and for you's. I'm on one more episode before the end of the year. Then the annual things people got stuck up their butt special will be appearing with I believe a special guest. I don't think I'll be on that one, but that one's happening like way towards the end of the year, so hang out and find out what people got stuck up their butts, I guess. And we'll probably be back to talk about bears very soon, because we usually end up talking about some
Bears are good.
Bears are good, even when they're like rampaging through people's houses or random shops. That's me, Laura. Will you sing us out, please, darling?
Until next time, be a stranger.